Please have a seat. It is totally different standing right here than it is. Good morning. I wanted to dive right into Lent. We've been hearing Father Tim talk about Lent now for the past 2 weeks, and how we're giving up things and we're trying to focus more on Jesus. And I wanted to share with you kind of what Lent is to me, because I feel like if I'm feeling this way, then there's some of you that might be feeling the same way. So I've had friends in the past, and I've done it too, that have given up caffeine and chocolate and fried chicken and you name it, something that's important to them, they give it up. And it's supposed to, whenever you think about it, it's supposed to remind you of Jesus. It's supposed to remind you of your faith and bring you closer. Well, a couple of years ago, I really wasn't gaining anything from this giving up something. So I decided to do a little digging, and I found that there was something missing. There was something missing. As I looked forward to the crucifixion, to Easter, there was something missing. And it wasn't something that I could gain by giving up something. So I went, and every Lent I find myself searching for what brings me that joy, so I can work on that. So whenever Easter comes, I can rejoice with the risen Lord. Now, this story about Nicodemus is one of my favorite stories. And Nicodemus is a Pharisee, and the Pharisees were teachers of the law. They were very knowledgeable. Nicodemus had been a Pharisee for a long time. And as I read this gospel story, I see and hear things a little bit different. And I want to share that with you. And you're probably going to go, that's why he's a youth minister. But that's okay. That's okay. Please let me share this picture with you. So I can picture Nicodemus sitting in his bed that night, and his eyes shoot open. And I know we all have those nights where you have this sudden realization. And so I'm thinking about 11:15, 11:30. Nicodemus' eyes shoot open. He's like, whoa. This Jesus guy, he's got something. He's got something I don't have. He's got something I want. And I'm looking at the things that he's doing, and even somebody as powerful as me, as knowledgeable as me, how close to God that I should be, I can't do those things. I can't heal the blind. I can't tell the paralyzed to get up and walk. I wonder what this guy has. And so I can just picture him sitting there, and he goes, okay. Nobody can see me go and ask him this question. So if I get up now and get dressed, I can probably be down there in 15 minutes, jumping from shadow to shadow. And I'll just ask him. I'll just knock on the door and ask him. So I can picture Nicodemus getting up and he's getting dressed. And I can picture him coming to the front door, and he slowly cracks it open and looks out, making sure none of his Pharisee friends or people can see him. So he opens up the door a little bit wider, and he looks out, and he throws open the door, and the theme music starts. The Mission Impossible theme music. And I could just see him getting up against walls like this and going from shadow to shadow and diving from place to place so nobody sees him. And he gets to the door, and he knocks. And I don't see him knocking like this. I see him knocking like this. And then on the other side of the door, I kind of want to think that Jesus was waiting on him. That he was still up, there was a candle still lit, waiting for Nicodemus to show up. And Jesus opens the door, and he's like, yes. Hey, Jesus, my name is Nicodemus. Can I come in? And Jesus is like, well, we can just go on a walk. And Nicodemus is going, no. I need to come in. It's all good. Just let me come in. So Jesus invites him in. Can I get you a drink? So they sit down, and they're drinking. It might be a little awkward at first. And Nicodemus finally looks up at Jesus and goes, how do you do it? The only explanation I can come up with is that you are so close to God That you are so close to God that it's almost like a bat phone, and you can like pick it up. You know the red phone they call Batman on? Like you pick it up, it's like, hey, I need some power today. I need some power. And Jesus is like, no, it's really not how it works. And there's a pause. And I can see Jesus taking a drink, maybe doing one of these numbers. And I can see a big smile come on Jesus' face. And he looks up and says, Nick, let me tell you. In order to do the things that I do, you need to be born from heaven. You need to come from heaven. And you need to be able to go back to heaven. And the only person that's been able to do that is the Son of Man. But I'll tell you this. If you're reborn by the water and the Spirit, you can see heaven. Can you picture Nicodemus' face? His eyes probably looked like some of my youth. Whenever I get too long talking, they kind of glaze over and they're done. And Nicodemus goes, whoa, seriously? Born again? Do you see how old I am? What are you going to do? Put me in the womb again? What's going on here? I don't even understand. You know what? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go back to bed. And I can picture Nicodemus getting up and walking out the door. Nicodemus was missing something. Nicodemus was missing something. So he went and asked. He went and asked Jesus for that peace. Born again by water and the Spirit. Born again by water and the Spirit. Born again by water. The great part about being Episcopalian is we probably go through our baptismal covenant 5 or 6 times a year, or as often as we have baptisms, or like confirmation, April 9th, the bishop's coming, please be here. But we renew our baptismal covenant. And our baptismal covenant, the questions that are asked really hit those 2 most important commandments. Your relationship with God and our relationship with each other. And we're reminded of this throughout the year. Born of the Spirit. Now here's one I had to think about. Born of the Spirit. Whenever you ask God to come into your life, whenever you tell the Spirit your will be done, the Spirit takes you. It makes you new. It makes you into something that can be stretched and grown, and it's uncomfortable. We call that getting outside our comfort zones. But it stretches you. It makes you grow. And you're almost like a young child again. A child that needs to be taught how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, how to clean up after themselves. It's like you're starting a new job where you're taught how to work a computer again. You have to learn everything over again. But that's okay. That's okay because you grow up in the knowledge of God. You grow up in the presence of God. You grow up knowing that His will is being done and you're loving each other through it. The thing that I love the most, personally, is the joy you feel. And that joy, it kind of bubbles over into your life, but most of all, you can feel it in your chest, and it rises up, and it's like a big smile. It's like a big smile. I went to school with a guy named John Rimbold. He was a popular guy. Played sports. All the girls liked him. He was a good guy. He was the kind of guy that would walk down the hallway and give everybody high fives and ask them how they're doing. You know in those movies where you see the guy coming through the hallway and he's like pointing his finger at people and spinning and doing it. It's like a real hokey. That was John Rimbold. And I had a class with John Rimbold, and we had a research day for a paper. and we were meeting in the library. And I got there before John and sat down at a table with some guys that were dressed all in black, and they had on black lipstick and eyeliner, and we called them Gothic, which wasn't a slam or anything like this. Just that was what they fell into, and they were nice guys. We were talking and talking and talking, but they seemed a little sad most of the time. And I remember John coming in, and he's just smiling. He throws open the library door, and he comes bebopping in, almost dancing when he was walking. And you know those turntables that you put the dictionaries are as tall as you on them? And he walked in, and he just spun that thing and plopped down on the chair. And he had this big grin on his face. And one of the guys across the table from him, he stopped, and he looked at John. He goes, "John, why are you always so happy? Why are you always smiling?" And John's smile got so big, I didn't think he'd get this big. And he goes, "I got Jesus. I got Jesus." When is a time for us to reflect, to prepare, to find that piece of us that's missing? It's a time for us to remember what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Here's my prayer for you. That you find that piece, and that you work on it, and you work on it hard, so hard, that the joy fills you, and that smile hits your face, and whenever that person stops you because they want what you have, you can look at them and say, "I got Jesus."